Hey, ladies. Hello, hello. So welcome to Tuesday's training. Today we're talking about 3 essential steps to becoming recession-proof sales rep, right? So if you are tuning in live, please make sure that you are typing in the chat, #live. We're live on YouTube right now, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the great things. And if you are hopping in and you are in sales, please type in below, comment what your industry is. Because I want to make sure that this stuff is a little bit relevant for you. We have financial services in here. Somebody put health on Instagram, e-commerce. Yo, what's up? We have mad skills in the house today. SaaS, says Jessica. Real estate, says Lauren. All right, let's go. So if we are going to have like a real conversation, which I talked about this a few weeks ago in regards to the recession and what's coming up, like it's starting right now, but we're really not going to feel it probably until 2024. Back in the recession, 2008, you really didn't see a huge downturn in the market until it hit the 2009, 2010. But the best thing is that the recession brings a lot of really incredible opportunities for sales reps. And this is why. It's going to either like really make you or really break you, because the sales reps that are used to lay down sales, that are used to just like going with the status quo and not really understanding how to get underneath the surface with questions or be able to ask something in a way to where it makes somebody want to change, and they're just asking like traditional sales questions that are staying super surface level. The sales reps that are doing that, they're going to start not making sales. Okay. Their income is going to dramatically decrease, and they're not going to be bringing in cash flow for the company. So what that's going to mean for you is that you're going to be able to keep your job and get more opportunity as they are let go. And that's the sad truth, but I'm just being real with you here, if that's okay. That's okay if I can be real with you. But it's a huge opportunity for anyone that is in sales, because if you understand how to actually sell, if you understand how to use neuro-emotional persuasion questions, you understand how to get people to go underneath the surface to where it doesn't feel like they are being sold to, you have huge opportunity in front of you. Like it gets to be a super win. So that being the case, I feel like there's really, 3 steps to becoming a recession-proof sales rep. I was in a board meeting or a business meeting the other night. If anyone hasn't known, we partnered with 7th Level back in March, and we were having a huge meeting, a huge boardroom meeting, and we were going through what it really takes for like a company to be thriving. And we were doing a strategy session, and we were talking about like the team, talking about like what's necessary for someone to be successful. And it came down to 3 things, right? The first was having skills. And regardless of how far we can get and sales, like if you do not understand skills, like you're never going to be able to actually have the income that some salespeople like even dream about. Like you'll never be able to really truly experience that. And the funny thing is that sometimes you have everything right in your pocket, everything so close for you, and you do not realize what you have in front of you. Let me give you an example, because I was listening at the gym the other morning. Wake up at 5 a.m. every day, and I love listening to my meditation and my motivation, the people yelling at me in my ear. And this guy was talking about how he was yelling at his wife for his car keys. And he's like, "Hon, like, where are my car keys? I can't find them anywhere. Where are they?" And she's like, "Babe, like, look in your pockets." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, like this woman thinks that I'm crazy, that I wouldn't think that my keys would be in my, how dumb does she think that I am?" And he goes, and the inside pocket, way down deep in his shorts, his keys are in there. And he has this epiphany. He's like, "Isn't it so interesting that the thing that I needed the whole entire time was on my person, but I didn't have the ability to look for it or to find it?" How many books do you have right now on your bookshelf that possibly could have the answers for what you're searching for that you may have not read yet? Or perhaps like these free trainings, we do trainings every Tuesday. You have a choice to come to them and actually learn something or not. But the information is available for you. It's there for you. Will you seek out the information and find it? Will you try to acquire the skills necessary? There's so many different ways to acquire skills. You can read books, you can watch YouTube, you can learn so many things. Now, it's going to take you a lot longer than it would if you had somebody that's done the thing that can listen to you, watch you, tell you what you're doing right or wrong, giving you feedback so that you don't take such a long time. But the reality of the situation is that if you really wanted to learn something, you have full access to that info. You have full access to go try to figure it out. Now, when it comes to masterful levels of stuff, there's only so far that you can go with yourself, and then you need to seek outside help to kind of help guide you and get you even further. But still, like walking around and not understanding how to make money in 2023 is like, I'm so sorry. I'm going to pull a big mirror up. Like, it's on you. You have every single thing inside of you to be able to acquire the skills, work your ass off, not working harder than smarter, but sometimes, you got to put in the reps and sometimes you need to make it happen, but it is up to you. And I think that as little girls, we are trained that there is some man on a shiny, white, beautiful horse that's going to come and rescue us. We are trained as little girls that our wedding day means more importance to us than who we're going to come in our career. Like, we are conditioned that way. And when you finally realize that you are the person that's going to come rescue you, everything is going to change for you. So, I'm here to support you and give you as much skills as I possibly can, but babe, it's up to you, which is why the second step, is your your willingness to make it happen, your willingness to do what it takes. Like, a lot of people are going to freak out because a recession's coming. They're like, the people that you're around, who are you listening to? Oh, stuff is more expensive in the grocery store. Oh, how are you going to be able to afford this? When you start surrounding yourself with people like that, you're going to start thinking that way. And sometimes they're going to look at you and ask you why you're working so freaking hard to try to make something happen. But you have to realize that you don't want to be like everyone else. You should not be taking advice from anyone unless you would be willing to switch places with them. Somebody is asking you, like, why are you studying so hard? Or, man, like, what does their bank account look like? And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm telling you, because I've learned from so many mistakes in my life, taking advice from the wrong people. Like, you get to be successful and you get to work hard and you get to do it in a way that is not compromising your values and in a way that is going to feel good and feel alignment. Who wants to sell to someone where it feels gross to you or feels out of alignment for you or feel icky? Like, ugh, you don't want that, right? And then the third area is opportunity. You have to have an opportunity. If you are in a sales job right now and it sucks, the leadership sucks, or like they're not giving you any leads, or, and some of you have to source your own leads. That's a little different. But like, are you in a position where you are going to be able to thrive in the next couple of years? Maybe you're not. Maybe you're in a position where you're just going to be stacking cash and then you're going to find something new. But whatever it is, you get to come up with a freaking plan. What's up, guys? You have to come up with a plan. And you have to be working really hard on yourself. Jim Rohn talks about this. Work harder on yourself than you do at your job. But he also says, do more at your job than what you get paid for. Why? Because it builds in discipline, it builds in leadership, it builds in character. So, the first thing we got to do is shift away from really pushy sales tactics. All these old boiler room, pushy, putting pressure on someone to make a decision. If you're in objection handling for 20, 30 minutes and you're trying to come up with the next best answer of how to overcome this person's objection, I'm telling you, you are doing something wrong. It should not feel like that. The person at the end of the call should be like, I'm trying to do everything possible in order to pay for this. And most of the time, anything that comes up for them, need to talk to their spouse, need to think about it, need to whatever. Like most of the time, it's a logistical money question in the first place if you learn how to ask problem questions correctly. You know, you have to be able to ask questions in a way where it evokes emotion, it evokes pain that they didn't realize that they had. And we get to allow somebody to have a breakdown so that they can have a breakthrough and buy and purchase your product or service that's going to be the solution to the problem that they may not have already known that they've had. The second thing is you need to be able to connect or communicate to a prospect that has adopted a more conservative buying mindset due to the economy. If somebody's hoarding on to everything right now, it's going to be a little bit difficult for them to release it unless they believe that hoarding onto it is more risky than them doing something about this today. So my questioning, right? All sales is change. I have to be able to change their belief system about something, their mindset on something. And the way that I'm going to get them to change is through my question ability, through what I'm asking. So if they think that, hoarding onto this money is going to keep them safe by having that safety net in their back pocket, versus if I start asking them questions and they realize that they're losing money every month. If they realize that they're losing money every single month because they don't have my product or service, I'm just giving a random example, then how long is that safety net sustainable? Do they like that they're losing money every single month? How is that impacting them emotionally? How is that impacting their relationship? How is that impacting their health? Has something happened recently as to where this has become more of a problem, or has this been a long time coming? Oh, wow. Certain questions are going to evoke certain things. And your ability to be self-aware with what you're saying and what you're doing is going to be a self-evaluation. If you're not in a program that's going to be evaluating you, or you don't have a sales manager that's taking the time to care to review your sales calls and give you feedback, like you get to be your own feedback buddy until you have that. Do you listen to your calls? Every single call, regardless if it's a win or a lose, like, can you evaluate it with the questions that you asked, right? Did they help the person open up, or was this person closed off? My favorite thing to do when I watch a sales call review is I look at the other person's eyes, because they always tell me something. And sometimes when you're on the outside of the call, right, when you're not in it and feeling all nervous and knowing what you're saying and trying to focus on them, sometimes you can see things that you may not have seen before. Maybe when they talked to you and they answered you, they leaned back a little bit. Or maybe they looked to the side as they talked to you. Or maybe they squinted a little bit. Or maybe they didn't lean in. I'm just like, what's going on through their brain right now? Like, I love watching their body language. When I asked them a question that was uncomfortable and they looked to the side, did they tell me the full truth? Probably not. May I ask how this is having an impact on you and your family? Well, I feel like it's causing issues. I'm like, why did they look to the side as I said that? I'm going to lean in more. Can I ask what's coming up for you right now? As you said that, I noticed that you looked off to the side, like, are you okay? Is anything coming up for you right now? The whole point is I want to make this person feel safe. I want them to feel like we're on the same side here. I'm going to have a legitimate conversation with this person, and I want them to know that we are on the same team trying to find a problem together so that we could solve it together. Not that they're on one side and I'm on the other side and I'm trying to sell them, convince them. Even if you are calling people and you're outbound calling, right? Let's say you're cold calling. We have to remember to lower sales resistance. Make somebody feel like you're not trying to sell them. Like, anyone that feels being sold to right now is going to hang up that phone so fast. maybe you got past your first couple questions and you found out that you're talking to the right person, and you ask them, if it's appropriate, we can ask a few questions, and if this is in alignment, we can have a further conversation. And if not, we can simply, hang up the phone, or I'm happy to refer you to somebody that could help. Why would I say that? Why would I say that I'm happy to refer you to somebody that could help? Because I don't need the sale, and I need them to feel like I don't need the sale. Regardless if they close with me or not, it's not going to affect me. If it did, I'm in a desperate state. And if you are at a place where you are in a desperate state to meet a sale, which I've been there many times before, you have to get your head out of the way during the call. If any time in the call I'm thinking of myself, oh my God, I hope I close this deal. Dear God, please let them close this deal. Please let me. Oh my gosh. Oh no, I hope I say the right thing. Oh God, there's that objection. Holy fuck. Pardon me. I didn't mean to cuss, but it just came out. Holy crap. How am I going to do that? Well, me thinking like that has one huge thing in common. I'm thinking me, 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 me. And I'm not thinking about the person in front of me. How am I going to serve and support the person in front of me if all I'm doing is hoping I do it right? That's so selfish of me. I don't get to show up like that. And if my money looks bad in the bank account, you best believe that if those thoughts come up, the first thing that I'm going to say is, look at the person in front of you, or listen to the person on the other side of the phone. That's the first thing I tell to myself. I'm like, there's a human here. I try to humanize it. Thanks, Nikki. I try to humanize it. I'm like, this person probably has loved in their life. They've probably lost. They've probably had somebody that they care about pass away. They've probably been sick before. They've probably been struggling before. They probably had joy in their life and fun and adventure. And I try to humanize it. I'm like, this is just another person that has a story that I don't know their story yet, but I'm here to support them if I can. If I can't support them, I will. And when I step into that, and I step into integrity of like asking the right questions to even understand if my product or service could support them, I know that I'm in my integrity towards the end. I know that if I stand for them at the end and they're a little afraid, I can stand firmly because I know that I can support them and help them because I've been there on their side the whole entire time. Now, YouTube, LinkedIn, IG, where else do you stream? I stream into my Facebook group. So I have a women in sales Facebook group that we do trainings in every week. And also on my Instagram page, I think that the subscriber thing is set up. I think there's like 10 hours of sales training on my Instagram that's like hidden in the subscriber option as well. I don't know how to undo it, so it's just been in there this whole time. But look, like if you guys have any questions, perfect. So somebody's asking a question. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. I'll try to answer a couple of them. What's a good candid question to ask prospects at the beginning of a call about their needs or wants for X? Okay, so I have to have more context. The person that you're calling, where are you calling them from? Are they cold, like you don't know them? Are they warm, like they came in from an ad? Are they like booked a strategy call in your calendar and they know they're getting on a sales call? Like what is happening with that so I can understand how to ask the question? Warm insurance leads. Perfect. Okay, so what's a candid question to ask a prospect at the beginning of the call about their needs or wants for X? Right? So the first thing is getting them open to even listening to your questions, right? So we need to get past the point where they're open to listening to it, right? So like ring, ring, like, hey, Jane. Hey, yeah, this is just Kayla with this insurance company. It looks like you responded to our ad yesterday about possibly getting a policy to, protect your family, when something does happen to you. I just had a few minutes before my next call to reach out. I guess, did you find what you were looking for, or are you still looking for a policy so that your family can be protected? Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because I want them to understand the outcome. I'm not selling a policy. I'm selling what the policy does for them. I'm selling protection for the family in case something happens to her, right? Now, this can be different depending on the ad. Like, let's say that insurance is used as I think it's a UIL. So, like, they're going to be borrowing against it for real estate. Like, I'm going to change why I'm calling about that. It's always going to depend on the industry. But again, my tonality is there and I'm trying to get them open. She's like, yeah, I'm still looking, right? May I ask, Jane, what attracted your attention, to even click on the ad in the first place, just so I can understand how to support you here? Well, I like this, this, this. Okay, I understand. Well, what about not looking at all, but maybe could be a good time to switch? Okay, and may I ask, who are you using now? What's your policy carrier now? Okay, and what do you like about that policy? How much does that policy cover? What would you change about that policy if you could? Ah, okay. I don't, to be honest with you, Jane, I don't even know if we can help. I had to ask a little bit more questions about your, this. If we can help, I'm happy to have a conversation. If we can't, I'm happy to end the call, or I possibly can refer you to somebody that could. Would that be appropriate? Yes. Let's move into the second asking questions, or let's set up another call. And again, I said those questions fast and you slow those down. Slow it down. I do outside sales. How would you open a feminine soft pitch when approaching a small business? Okay, so outside sales, meaning that you're walking into businesses. Give me some more context. How would you open a feminine soft pitch when approaching? So we never want to pitch, right? Like, pitching is going to be never what you're doing, right? We want to be listening to the person's problems and then providing a solution if it makes sense. And what we would ask through the questioning is something like, may I ask, like, from everything you've seen, heard here today, do you even feel like this is like the answer for what you're looking for? They say yes. May I ask why? They tell me, and more importantly, themselves, as to why. I hope that's helpful. When you're walking into businesses, you have to be able to understand how to get past the gatekeeper. As a woman, you have this beautiful thing called being able to get an appointment. It's so much easier for a woman to get an appointment than a dude. It is so much easier. The second thing is that you have to prove that you know what the hell you're talking about, because if you don't, they get you out real fast. They don't give you any time of day. You have to prove yourself when you walk in. So you want to come off not bitchy, but you need to come off knowledgeable and supportive, and like you're there for them, So a good possible way of like walking in to a company cold is you're walking straight up to the receptionist and you're like, hi, could you possibly help me for a moment? It's almost like damsel in distress mode. Like, they're like, oh my God, how can I help you? I don't even know if you're the right person that I should be talking to about this, but do you know how possibly you guys might be overpaying your employee benefits every single month that might be causing you to whatever? So you might have, how you all might be, or how some companies might do XYZ that might be causing you this problem. If I was walking in cold, how, for me, like if I went back to my builder days, how some of these LV companies come in and wire their home the wrong way, and it causes you to have Wi-Fi issues in the future. What we do is come in and make sure that everything's wired to proper protocol, so that you don't have those issues with homeowners like years after, and they're calling you. Are you even the right person to be talking to about this? Who would be appropriate, right? And go to the right person. But I always want to talk about a problem or an outcome that's there. When calling companies to invite them to an enterprise program of a company, how should I pass the gatekeeper? How should I start a conversation? If you ever call somebody cold, I love the, hey, can you help me out for a moment? Because it pattern interrupts them. Never, ever, ever start a call with, hi, my name is Kayla from this and this company. The reason why I'm calling is blah, 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 like, womp, womp, womp. That's what every salesperson does. Do not do that. No, 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 no. But what you could do is, hey, could you possibly help me out for a minute? Let me pull up one of my cold calling sheets, because I I did a video on this a few weeks ago, but I like it. Cold calling, B2B. Hey, so-and-so, I was wondering if you could possibly help me out for a minute. Oh, hi, how can I help you? Well, I'm not sure that you could yet. I was calling to see if your company would be open to looking at, actually, I like a post. Let's go back. Well, I'm not sure that you could yet. I was calling to see if your company would be opposed to looking at any hidden gaps and how you might be doing XYZ that could be causing you to pain point, right? And if the person says, oh, well, this person handles that, blah, 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 we start asking questions about it. Or they say, I've already using a company for that. Who's heard that before? Oh, well, we're already using someone for that. Is that anyone? Ever heard that one before? If they say that, I can say, oh, yeah, that's not a problem. May I ask like who you're currently using? Ah, yeah, it's a great company. What exactly do you like about them? Oh, I like this, this, this. Now, Sally, would you change anything about the current process that they have with you if you could? And that's getting them to start thinking about if there was anything that they would want to change. I like this a lot because, like, let's say that you're talking to a girlfriend and they're dating it's a POS guy, right? And he's like super toxic. And you're wanting her to realize that there's problems there. You can do the same thing. Oh, do you like Chad? Oh my God, I love Chad. What do you love about him? May I ask, like, what's the best part about Chad? Oh, I like this, I like this, I like this. Sally, would you change anything about Chad? Like if you could? Well, he drinks a lot, blah, 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 right? I'm getting her mind to be open to the fact that there might be problems there. And this is the same thing that you're doing with businesses. If anyone is ever saying, I like this person or I work with this person, you have to be willing to disarm them to get over that, right? Oh, and who do you work with? Oh, what do you like about them? Oh, it's this. Ah, may I ask, like, would you change anything about the company, the process, the employees, whatever, if you could? The tonalities could be everything. If I don't do the pausing, if I say, would you change anything about that if you could? Like, it's not going to land the way that you want it to. It has to land a certain way. Some questions you might use to stress the urgency to act. Most feel like they should keep renting 100% interest. You get no money back in your pocket versus buying a home, which your interest rates are high compared to the past few years. So it's risk over reward, right? So you need to find their pain point. So it's not their pain point is not necessarily your pain point. Like, what if somebody wants to buy a house, right? And the only neighborhood that's available that is a safe neighborhood for their kids is one that they would have to buy, right? We have to ask certain questions in order for them to get in the market. You have to, I can't tell you what their pain points are. You have to be able to find their pain points. Which one is more risky for them to do nothing and them to be in the same place that they're at right now, where they're experiencing like their kid being beat up at school, or them to take a higher interest rate and to move into a home that's safer? Like, that's less risky. So what is going to be their pain point? And if you don't know how to ask those questions to find out how their living current situation now is impacting them, and do they like where they're living right now? Yes, I like it. Okay, what do you like about it? Is there anything that you would change about it if you could? Do you like your living situation right now? No. Oh, well, why not? How come? This. Oh, wow. And how is that impacting your relationship? How is that impacting your kids? How is that impacting you personally? Right? I'm trying to figure out their pain point. If I don't know how to ask questions, I'll never be able to give them the solution. The house is not what they're buying, it's what it does for them. A house gives them status. A house gives them a safer neighborhood for their kids. A house gives them more bedrooms if they're trying to have more babies. Like, what is the solution? What is the pain point? You have to find out the pain point first. All right. Could you use that cold script for social media? I would not. And because absolutely. I would not ask it for social media because there's a different way to pattern interrupt people on social media than cold calling. Like everything is strategically laid out, right? So the one thing I would do with social media is take an extra 5 minutes to be a human. Go to their profile. What is something that you can relate to them about? I see that they're playing with their kid outside at school. Maybe I would ask, like, hey, like I see you always, posting your son. You're such a great mom. And I would ask a qualifying question. My qualifying question is, are you in sales or what do you do? Right? I want to ask straight to the point. We're not having BS conversations right now, right? Maybe if I was in insurance, like, may I ask, like, do you have a policy in place to protect your family in case something happens? Right? Like, it goes straight there. Like social media, you have to be able to have legitimate conversations. So show that you care and then ask a qualifying conversation. If you don't show your care and you ask a qualifying question, you look like an asshole sometimes. Hey, Kayla, do you need help with editing your short form content? I wish, man, we have a huge team. If you have any inquiries like that, you need to email info@seventhlevelhqteam.com. So my company merged with Seventh Level, so we are part of a big corporation now. Hey, Kayla, you look really friendly. Are you really? I think so. I don't think I'm mean. All right. Any other questions on sales, guys? Sales questions at all? I know we went a little bit over today. Awesome. Thanks for the gal. I appreciate that. Is your wife in sales or what does she do? Happy to support any way that I can. I think somebody else asked me a question on here. I had a call. She said yes, but she said I need to collect some payments next week. I said about paying a $100 deposit just to put the intention. She said no necessary. I want to work with you. 4 days after no answer from her. How can I approach this person again? Okay, number one, remove the word deposit out of your vocabulary. No more words of deposit. Instead, we can say, yeah, that's not a problem that they want to move it however farther into the future. All we ask is for you to put a down payment today of at least, and I want to say $100, like at least $250, or unless it's a lower ticket, at least $100 will lock in your place, get everything going. And I'll answer that question in a second. All right, we'll at least put down a down payment of at least, oh my gosh, Alexa, stop. You yelled at me. That's so scary. Let me go back. Oh my God, my ADD is so good. Don't use the word deposit. They said that they want to do payments. Yeah, that's not a problem. Of course, you can do payments. All we ask is that you put down a down payment today and we'll establish your spot in. And then next steps from here are I will touch base with you on this day. What's the best time for you? So we'll take the rest of the payment, right? When a down payment is like locking it in. Deposit, no. And if they say waiver with the down payment, then there was another objection there. So sometimes people like to say, yeah, I'll do a deposit, or I don't need to do a deposit. When there's another objection there, I need to go underneath it. How I reach out to her now, though, is I would say, I'm like, hey, name. I have, called a couple times. I've heard no response. Where should we go from here? ... Or I've heard no response. ... Where should we go from here? ? That's all you say. Hey, Sally, I've reached out to you a couple of times, haven't heard a response. May I ask, where should we go from here? That's it. And normally you'll get a response. And if they're just going to ghost you, like, you don't want to work with that person anyways. Okay. Hey, Kayla, how did you overcome your cold call apprehension? How did you overcome your cold call apprehension? I was thrown into it. So one of my first B2C jobs, I had a cold call 220 calls a day, and I had people yell at me, hang up on me, all this other stuff. And then I never wanted to pick up the phone. I never wanted to cold call again. When I understood the skills of how to do it and understood how to pattern interrupt someone, it's less scary because I'm not calling them and they're not feeling like I'm selling to them. I'm calling them, I'm pattern interrupting them, and then they feel like I'm on the same team with them and I'm trying to help them and support them. And my tonality was everything. I used to call people like this, like, hey, this is this and this. What's the biggest problem? And I was super high, really assertive in my voice. When I learned how to calm it down, slow it down, it was game over. game over. You got to become like butter. Like it has to sound so sweet, so good. Like I'm enticing you to want to stay on the call through my tonality, through my pausing. Like you got to learn to master you. Awesome, Alicia. Let's go. See, perfect timing. Lauren said that we say retainer. So retainer for me, that means that I'm putting you on retainer. Like I'm paying you a monthly retainer. So maybe it depends on your industry. But that's what that means in my mind. I'm having a hard time with device protection, $18 a month. I work on sales on a cell phone company. Okay, so what are you having a hard time with? Getting people to add that protection? You know, even ask like, would you be opposed to making sure that your device is protected? Most of our clients add this. It's 18 a month. So what I'm doing there is I'm doing the majority rule. I'm asking, would you be opposed? Because most people are conditioned to say no. So instead of say, are you open? Would you be opposed to making sure that your device is protected? Most of our clients do this. It's only 18 a month. By saying most of my clients do it, it makes them feel like everyone else is doing it. So they want to be a part of it. It's really interesting. Humans are interesting. As a setter, what else can I ask after booking an appointment to make sure that they show up besides, is there any reason you want to be able to make it? After you book the appointment, you should be pre-confirming the appointment 3 times before the call, manually, in addition to automatically. So maybe it's like, hey, I'm looking forward to, I just saw that we booked you on the calendar, that everything came through, like looking forward to having you. Maybe asking them to watch your video beforehand. Can you make that done? If they don't respond to you, right? Hey, I've sent you a couple messages. Or, hey, did you receive my last message? Pause. Okay, so you want to do a first reach out message. Hey, we just saw you booked your call about getting the outcome that they're looking for. Can you watch this video beforehand? Or can you confirm with me? If they don't respond, you send another message. Hey, did you receive my last message? If they don't respond after that, you give them a pre-cancel warning. Like, hey, I wanted to personally reach out to you. We sent a couple messages and I haven't heard back. Are you okay? Right? Or, my admin team normally has me remove these calls and open them up for somebody that would be available. I want to make sure I keep your spot. Are you still confirmed to come? Like, there's no issues by confirming. Like, let's say this guy asked out this really hot chick. It's Monday. He asked her out on Friday. She says she's coming. Okay. Would that guy wait till Friday and show up at the restaurant and hope she arrives? If he did that, what would happen? She probably wouldn't come, right? So what does he do? Tuesday, thank you for allowing me to see time with you. On Friday, looking forward to seeing you. On Thursday, maybe he is a little classy and he's like, hey, for tomorrow night, I'm going to pick you up at 8:00. Wear a black dress and heels. I'll be there at 8. That's so hot, though, by the way. Guys, take notes. Girls love and guys are in control and they plan stuff. Super awesome for us. Wear a black dress and heels. I'll pick you up at 8, right? We're like, oh my God. And the next time we're like, hey, I'll see you in a couple hours. Are you good? Good. I'm glad I do. Like, I understand more dating analogies than sales sometimes. It helps me. So if you plan on a date with this person, a sales date, right? Sales call, you need to be checking in and making sure they're good. Send them some resources beforehand. Make sure that they feel real good about you going onto this call. A video. Maybe you have an example that would support them, or maybe you have a resource that might help them in the meantime. Like, send that shit their way. Like, help them out. Make them want to be on that call with you. Like, they want to be in your energy and spend time with you. Absolutely. So, all right, guys, I had to get off of here. I have a call in a second. But what was the first moment you knew you had it? I don't know what I had. Had what? I see. Any other questions? Guys, like, you got it. If you here also are I think that we did on our masterclass sales audits where you send us your script, my ladies only, sorry guys, ladies only, send me your script. And what we'll do is we'll review it and give you feedback on it in a sales audit with either myself or somebody on my team. I try to take sales calls during the week, but I do a lot of other stuff as well. But if you are wanting that, please comment sales audit, or please DM me. If you're on Instagram, you have to DM me. DM me sales audit, and we'll get you over the information so you can email over the script. We'll help you send a link so that you can book a call with our team. Like if there's any way that we can support you, like happy to help. Don't let more time go by without you learning skills. Like if you are losing sales every single month with objections, the recession's coming, like there's so much that's happening. Like it's time to up that skills right now. Remember, skills, will, and opportunity. If you don't have a good sales job, like happy to recommend you and help you find somewhere. You have to have a willingness to do it yourself. No one's going to do this for you but you. And you got to learn the skills. So make sure you're in an environment to learn those or get around people. Keep coming to trainings like this. If you want additional help, like happy to give you some eyes to tell you some feedback so you can actually save yourself all the time and energy. But it's up to you, babe. So I appreciate you. I honor you. I will see you incredibly soon. And if you need anything from us, let us know. DM me sales audit if you want us to review your script and want to get it on a call with my team. All right, guys. Bye. See you later.